Jamal Adams wanted out of New York, and he got his wish, the mega trade to the Seahawks. 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, safety Bradley McDougald for Jamal Adams, and a 4th-round pick in 2022. Rodney Harrison, your thoughts on the decision to send arguably the best safety in the NFL to Seattle for all of that compensation?
I didn't like it, Mike. I look at the Jets. They drafted 6 overall as a foundation player, as a leader on that defense, and he becomes a Pro Bowl player, all-pro player. He exceeded expectations. He becomes the best safety in the National Football League, but yet the Jets don't want to pay him. And Jamal is a very passionate guy. He's very similar to me, and he wears all his emotions on his sleeves. And yes, he could have handled the situation a lot better, understand that this is business, and he talked himself out of New York. But I think he's a tremendous player, and the Jets, I think they made a mistake. He's a Hall of Fame talent. You don't let guys like that walk out the door. And just my last point I want to make on this. You go pay a guy like C.J. Mosley from the Baltimore Ravens that you didn't draft. He wasn't in your system, but you pay him $40-50 million. You go out and get Le'Veon Bell. And Jamal Adams is your best player on your team. You got a quarterback playing off a rookie deal, but yet you don't want to make him the highest paid safety in the National Football League. The Jets blew it. I just think they made a huge mistake here.
Well, I agree with everything you said about the player. I mean, you're right. He's a Hall of Fame talent. To me, he is the best safety in football. I mean, I think you probably argued Derwin James is in that combo too, I think. But
yeah.
But what were the Jets supposed to do? I mean, don't you think they kind of had to make a trade happen with the way Jamal was talking and things like that? I mean, I understand. But what?
Chris, the way he was talking is because he's upset. When you give everything to an organization, when you give everything to a team, the fan base, you expect to be rewarded.
Yeah.
You're putting your life on the line. You see what that guy brings every single day, the intensity. It didn't matter what the record was. It didn't matter what situation the Jets were in. He always came to play. He was always a productive player. And yeah, I would get pissed off too if I have to sit on a garbage team and they don't even want to pay me when I'm out there. I'm a top 5 or 6 defensive player. I'm the best safety in the National Football League, but yet you don't want to pay me. I think it's crazy. And I also think it sends a message to everybody else across the league. Why would I want to come and play for the Jets if they can't even pay Jamal Adams, who's the best safety in the National Football League? I think it's terrible.
Yeah, well, I hear that.
But
yeah,
hey, hang on.
Yeah.
Rodney, there's a difference, though, right? I don't remember young Rodney Harrison going – this is before Jamal Adams got upset with Adam Gase and got upset with his contract. Back in 2018, his second season, Todd Bowles, the coach of the team at the time, was constantly having to clean up messes made by Jamal Adams. He would call out teammates. He said on radio in 2018, everybody was used to losing. He was talking about the Jets. You could always tell that vibe. I came in, it was like everybody wanted to do the bare minimum. They didn't want to go above and beyond. They didn't want to take the extra step. I don't remember young Rodney Harrison calling teammates out like that publicly. That was the first sign that this thing was destined for trouble between Adams and the Jets.
Well, it's your, some people, maybe you look at it as calling the guys out. Maybe he looks at it as holding them accountable. Because, when you come in and you're getting there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're lifting weights, you're doing everything right, you're productive, and you see other guys messing around, not as focused, and you expect your coaches to try to get those guys in order. And if those guys aren't in order, yeah, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, you can pull them to the side and you can talk to them, but sometimes you have to call people out. Sometimes you have to go up to a guy and say, hey, man, you're not getting it done. We need you to be a lot better. But, yeah, Jamal could have handled the situation a lot better. He could have been more professional. He could have been more sincere. He didn't have to do some of the things. And I'm sure he would tell you once he sits down that, yeah, he's made some mistakes and he feels bad about it. But ultimately, he got his wish. He did what he had to do to get up out of there.
All right. So you got to just at least hit on what do you think it means to Seattle now that they got the best safety in football and this Hall of Fame type talent. What do you think it does to their defense and their team, Rodney?
I think it's terrific. They lose a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, and I think, when you lose a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, a guy that can get after the quarterback, and he's been hurt and, he's off and on, but you get that stabilizer in Jamal Adams, that guy that's going to team up with Quadre Diggs and be that physical presence and really bring that electricity every single week. You see the division that they're in with all those really good quarterbacks, so I think it's huge for Seattle.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.